ki khubor ka Batisi TV lawan Rashapi da ka Orange Nissan Lumso po near Fire Brigade Shillong.
Admissions are open at BDW International School. Enroll now.
Kajingelang jong kakinhon ki menteri sorkar kabalalong menta kasngi ka khat sautri gobanai no pra arjar arpuai kala shimnya karai banalor ki village employment council ki baladon lepa ka jing penya je ka scheme bella shispa asngi leni ka MNREGA Kishnong kin hap thao se ka Natural Resources Management Committee lani ka committee ka ban pet kumno ban penne pensa ya ka Maryang bat katei ka committee kan dei ka ban don kham hapo jong ka VEC haba kren sekilat pathai khubor u James PK Sangma ulong bala shim nya ka rai kat kum ka jing penkela bala penmi de ka sarkar India lingba ka Ministry of Rural Development Ulaong magajing don kam ban thao ya ka committee ka day na marbahap ban pet kumno ban penne pensa ya ka Maryang kum ka jing pom ya ki ding ki se ban lait ya ka jing tua khando ban lait na ka jing terkhong bat kumta ter u James uliatho baki wai pat ki mat ki bala shimrai ha ka jing elang ki menteri sarkar ka balalong menta ka sngi ki kenthop ya ka jing penkela khandiat ya ka an shongkha shongman ne ka Compulsory Registration of Marriage Act Kajingwan ra ya ki e-court fees rules kaban pensok ya ki paj ba ha kajing ada kam bat ka ain ha ka bakila ban pha online ni ki jing budoi jong ki ru
was the amendments to the Meghalaya Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme 2005. So this was to this was regarding the formation of the Natural Resource Management Committee at the VEC level. As you all know, natural resource management has been one of the focal points under the MGNREGA, and the Ministry of Rural Development has placed emphasis on the need to increase expenditure on the natural resource management and related activities through MGNREGA. Workshops, meetings and interactions were held at the state, district and block level and the VEC level and at the VEC level too to create awareness on the importance of NRM under MGNREGA. Till date, the performance is still not satisfactory and the state has not crossed the 60% expenditure in any financial year. Out of the 262 permissible works under MGNREGA, there are 181 works which are related to NRM. This implies that almost 70% of the permissible works are NRM related. However, the focus of the VECs has always been on rural connectivity, roads, footpaths, etc. So that is why this was proposed for the separate subcommittee to be formed and created at the VEC level, which will specifically look after natural resource management and all related matters at the VEC level as an added support or an additional arm to the PEIC of the VEC. The Natural Resource Management Committee shall comply to the terms of references naturally, and this was brought to the cabinet for ratification and approval, and this was also passed by the cabinet. We all know that a lot of importance is being stressed upon by the Government of India, the Ministry of Rural Development, on natural resource management. This has become very important because NREGA, I think, has been the kind of works that are taken up in the MGNREGA. There needs to be a special focus in terms of climate change, in terms of degradation of our natural resources. That a structured approach is required at the VEC level to strengthen the fight against climate change, to better manage our natural resources. So the importance cannot be stressed enough, I think, because we all know how important it is. So therefore this Natural Resource Management Committee under the VECs will play a very, very important role in making sure that the 60% of the works, 70% of the works, permissible works under MGNREGA, which are related to NRMs, will be taken up in a more focused manner. And I think there are many such kind of activities which are there. I don't have the list with me here, but these will be most probably related to, I think, protection of catchment areas, things which will ensure better management of our natural resources, in terms of our rivers, in terms of our forests, in terms of whatever resources that are there. So I think it will be in that line. But of course, I'm just being very specific and very limited. This is much broader than that. This is to bring in the natural resource management committees, NRMCs, right? So you spoke about what are the kind of problems. So deforestation, soil erosion, poor soil quality, water scarcity, that is drinking water scarcity, management of wastewater, things like that, which will, flood control. These are the areas wherein natural resource management will be focusing on. But of course, there's many of them. I don't want to go into all of them. This is with a focused approach to manage the kind of mandate that is being laid out by the Government of India, MORD. Okay, because they are placing emphasis on the need to increase expenditure on NRM and related activities through the MGNREGA. So because of that kind of focused approach and the emphasis which MORD is placing, therefore it was felt that there is a need to have the NRMCs. The draft proposal for amendment in the Meghalaya Compulsory Registration of Marriage Act 2012. I'll just read out the relevant portions. The Meghalaya Compulsory Registration of Marriage Act 2012 was enacted to provide for compulsory registration of marriages in the state, and the act makes it mandatory for a married man and woman to compulsorily furnish a marriage certificate issued under the act for all official purposes. Subsequently, by an amendment in 2017, provisions of the act were made applicable to the parties to the marriage or in case of living together or cohabitation not covered by their respective personal laws. The Principal Act, however, did not define the meaning of official purposes, and by way of an amendment of the Act in 2019, the term official purposes was defined as under: official purposes in relation to the said act shall mean a contract of marriage entered between the parties for addressing issues pertaining to pension, succession and maintenance of spouse. It is observed that the main purpose of the Principal Act was to ensure that all marriages in Meghalaya on or after the appointed date are compulsorily registered, and this process has the necessary statutory backing through this enactment. Title of the Principal Act focuses on compulsory registration of marriages in general and not on its usage or the application per se. Further, the penal consequences for non-registration of marriage has already been provided for in Section 13 and 14 of the Principal Act, which will take care of implementation of the Principal Act. Thus, in view of the fact that the aspects of pension or succession and maintenance of spouse are already taken care of by the concerned applicable laws, there is no need to make it mandatory to furnish marriage certificate for these issued under the Principal Act of 2012, which is primarily aimed at compulsory registration of marriage. So therefore, this is very long, but in any case, in view of all the above, an amendment was proposed to the said Act to delete the phrase in quotes, and such marriage certificate shall be required for all official purposes at the end of Section 3 as per notification. Accordingly, wherever official purposes is mentioned is proposed to be deleted, being redundant due to the proposed amendment of Section 3, which I just read out. Then there is another amendment which was proposed in the Act in respect of definition of Registrar General of Marriages under Section 2G. At present, this statutory function is vested in Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya and ERTS Department on ex officio basis. It is observed that the Inspector General of Registration Meghalaya does not have any statutory function under the above Act. either on ex officio basis or even otherwise. However, traditionally IGR, that's the Inspector General of Registration, has been dealing with matters related to marriage registration as an intermediate interface similar to the to head of department at the state level, while the district officials take up any matter with the state government in the ERTS department. So it was found desirable that the district officials take up all matters relating to registration of marriages with the Inspector General of Registration in the first instance. So this was found necessary in order to ensure that the matters that arise in different districts are examined or harmonized at the state level first with the Inspector General Registration before the same is put up to the state government for taking a final call as due. Accordingly, it was proposed to amend Section 2G by substituting Inspector General of Registration, Meghalaya ex officio, in place of the existing portion phrase Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya in the Excise, Registration, Taxation and Stamps Department ex officio. So this was discussed. The views of the Law and Finance Department was also reproduced before the Cabinet, and after discussion this also was passed by the Cabinet, and this will come in the form of an ordinance. The definition of official purposes is extremely broad. In fact, if you say official purposes, you can have n number of things which you can say they are official purposes, because official purposes is not just confined to governments, right? It can also expand into the private sector and all other sectors. So if the Compulsory Registration of Marriages Act and to furnish these documents for official purposes is mentioned in the Act, it becomes too exclusive, because then to define official purposes, which is a Herculean task and it's never ending, so it will then only those which are mentioned in the Act as official purposes, the requirement to produce your marriage certificates would only apply to those, which would literally defeat the purpose of having a Compulsory Registration of Marriage Act. So to make it more broader and to make it all encompassing, we, as the government went over this, we've discussed this with the Law Department. So it was felt that not to confine it to these few services, let us make it broader to bring in more people under the ambit. So it was decided that we will do away with the mention of official purposes. All marriages under church marriages or mandirs or in masjids, wherever they may be, as per the religion, as per their customs and traditions, those are recognized by the government, and they will furnish that information to the Inspector General of Registrations. The introduction of the e-court fees rules. So, as you all know, that recently in Meghalaya, payment for purchase of judicial stamps, also known as court fee stamps. So the proposed e-court fees rules 2021, which was brought to the Cabinet today, this is intended to raise the level of e-payment of court fees to enable the purchaser to generate the e-court fees certificate, that is the court fee stamp, online, and the need to use the e-challan as de jure court fee stamp will be done away with. And this e-court fee certificate will be used or can be used for all judicial and quasi-judicial purposes. So this makes for ease of doing business by all stakeholders, as the system is easily accessible through the authorized collection centers or the approved intermediaries who will be appointed by the concerned agency with the approval of the Superintendent of Stamps, or directly online through the portal of the approved agency, and can be integrated with the court systems for the filing of cases online. And it does away with the requirement for multiple stamps, as the e-court fees certificate can be generated for the specific amount required. So this was brought as a proposal, and after discussion was passed by the Cabinet. section was the Meghalaya State Consumer Protection or the State Consumer Protection Council and District Consumer Protection Council Rules 2021. Section 6 of the Consumer Protection Act of 2019 states that every state government shall by notification establish with effect from such date as it may specify in such notification a State Consumer Protection Council for such state to be known as the State Council. And Section 8 of the Consumer Protection Act 2019 states that every state government shall by notification establish for every district with effect from such date as it may specify in such notification a District Consumer Protection Council to be known as the District Council. So accordingly, the rules were brought to the Cabinet. The Meghalaya State Consumer Protection or the State Consumer Protection Council and District Consumer Protection Council in brackets, that is, Rules 2021, and this was brought to the Cabinet. And after discussion, the Cabinet has approved the State Consumer Protection or the in brackets State Consumer Protection Council and District Consumer Protection Council Rules 2021. Today, government has implemented One Nation, One Ration Card, and we have also started the implementation of EPOS devices as a part of that. And the EPOS devices requires certain biometrics to verify the beneficiaries. So it is important to have certain kind of information in terms of the Aadhaar card to verify the genuine beneficiaries. In Meghalaya, yes, Aadhaar enrollment has been very challenging, and many people are still out there who don't have Aadhaar cards, and because of various reasons, because of maybe lack of willingness, or maybe because they didn't know the way to go about it, and they didn't know the importance of it. Well, there are certain cases like that. But having said that, the government, we cannot deny genuine beneficiaries of their allotment, in terms of PDS. So what we are also looking at is if in case we cannot seed the Aadhaars into the system that we have right now, EPOS, then we are also giving alternatives like mobile seeding. So if they can come forward and give their mobile numbers, that also would become means by which we can verify and identify genuine beneficiaries. But it's very important to have that system in place, because thereby we'll be able to reduce the kind of pilferage or the kind of diversion of food grains that may be taking place. It is only meant for the EPOS devices. I think they've gone one step ahead. It is so that we see, sometimes the head of the family doesn't necessarily come to collect the ration. So then yes, of course you have to be physically present, because these are biometrics that we are scanning, right? So you can't have person B coming in place of person A, and his biometrics and his Aadhaar details are not there with us. So then in that case, yes, these are practical ground difficulties that PDS fair price shops must be facing. It is understandable. But then I think that what we need to do is that as we go along, we're tweaking the system. This is a new system that's rolled out. There are bound to be hiccups. There's bound to be a lot of lack of communication and information flow. So a lot of these capacity building exercises are taking place. We are training our fair price shop dealers. So eventually things will get streamlined. But yes, there will be hiccups. I don't deny that. There are practical difficulties to fair price shop owners. Like sometimes, the father doesn't come, the son will come or his wife will come, and now to match your biometrics with the principal family, head of the family, it may not. So these are practical difficulties which I presume the fair price shop owners are facing. So as I said, these are teething problems, these are issues which as we go along, we are looking at addressing, and we'll see how we can resolve those kind of issues. But no system is perfect. There is always this process of learning along the way and improving the system. This has been taking place now, and instructions are there with the deputy commissioners that because there's Aadhaar enrollment is one thing and Aadhaar seeding is another thing. So Aadhaar enrollment itself, we've hit a stone wall, and there are a lot of challenges and issues related to Aadhaar enrollment. So seeding is of course out of the question if you don't have the enrollment. So the deputy commissioners have made this known to us that they have a lot of challenges in terms of Aadhaar enrollment, and seeding is secondary to that. So in that case, we have suggested that if not this, Government of India allows for mobile seeding.